All right, y'all, today we're taking a look at this boudoir photography business and see if it has BSS for its local high intent keyword search and its city high intent keyword search. And we're back in the GBC universe where we're taking declining boudoir photographers to the #1 boudoir photographer in their city. Our North Star, as always, is FSIC, full spectrum intent capture. More on that pinned video, pinned post, home video, somewhere around here. And that's because FSIC explains why all boudoir photographers either rise or fall. So we got our FSIC graph in white down here. Highest intent people on the left is people using social search, Google search, searching for a boudoir photographer in their or boudoir photo shoot in their city right now. And as a result, they're we talk about them, BSS videos here. Over on the right, we got the lowest intent peeps. Talk about dealing with these or reaching these peeps on our sister channel, Boudoir FB Ad Doctor, where we talk about BLCS. And over there, we currently only work with boudoir photographers running more than 10 grand per month in boudoir Facebook ads. Now, boudoir search sameness is BSS. Means a boudoir photographer has either 0 or 1 slots, page 1 on Google. 0 slots, page 1, we cannot have that. We're dying a fast death here because that means we're on page 2 or deeper. The reason that matters is we know approximately 80% of Google searches never even hit page 2. That's right, they're one and done only. They're page 1 and done only searches. So for our page 2 or deeper, we're visible to approximately 80% of the market, so the bulk of the market. 1 slot on page 1 is also not good enough. Everyone on page 1's got 1 slot. So, it's us and most likely 9 other boudoir photographers. We're looking the same, we're not standing out. So what a boudoir photographer is doing is they're actually clicking, everyone's link, open up everyone's website, every contact form, every whatever submission form, getting a quote, comparing prices, waiting, negotiating. Why should they buy now? Trying to get the most for the least. It's wasting everyone's time. And most of these contact forms fill out don't even convert anyway. So just waste. So business dies slowly in this case, only having 1 slot, page 1 Google search. And 0 1 slots, page 1 Google is actually not normal. It's actually the symptom of 2 deeper root causes. That's common. It's accepted to have 0 1 slots, page 1 Google search, but it's not normal. Now, these 2 deeper root causes are market saturation and the false belief of page 1 equality. Market saturation, yeah, basically everyone knows about this one. More peeps joining. Basically, peeps kind of naturally upgrade their gear over time. New iPhone, new camera. And as they get new gear, they're actually throwing up their Google My Business profile saying they shoot boudoir, throwing up their website saying they're a boudoir photographer. They are, increasing basically the amount of times they post in the mom groups on Facebook saying they offer boudoir photo shoots. So all this is more sellers, more boudoir photographers for the same number of buyers, makes it harder for every other boudoir photographer in the market. This is market saturation. Then we got false belief, page 1 equality. Yeah, very few peeps know about this one. This is kind of like boudoir photographers naturally assumed that, they basically naturally assumed that each boudoir photographer gets, kind of just gets 0 1 slots, page 1 on Google, and that's how it is. Maybe they had their page 1 slot 7. That's how market saturation happened. Now they're, page 2 slot 2. I'm like, well, that's simply what it is. Hopefully those people delete their websites so Google can bring us back up onto page 1. But no, this is the 100% incorrect mindset to have, this kind of a wait and see mindset. 100% wrong. What's actually true is Google will give us as many page 1 slots on Google search for the highest intent boudoir buyer keywords as we want, or as we put in the effort to acquire. AKA we actually show Google we want. And I know this because I went from 0 out of 10 slots, page 1 Google search, to 9 out of 10 slots, page 1 Google search in only 10 days. This new methodology we developed. So I know for a fact the false belief of page 1 equality is exactly that, a false belief. We also know that boudoir photographer with boudoir search sameness is a disappearing boudoir photographer, a DBP. And remember BSS, 0 1 slots, page 1 Google search for page 2 or deeper. We're dying a fast death. We're disappearing there for page 1 1 slot. We're dying a slow death. Both cases, we're disappearing boudoir photographer. And what actually happens is this kind of the warning light, the warning flag, the check engine light, the canary in the coal mine that's telling us, hey, our boudoir photography business itself is now on the path to disappearing. But thankfully, we now have a solution. We've actually discovered that BSS, boudoir search sameness, 0 1 slots, page 1 Google search, is treated with social search saturation, aka SQ's methodology. And it works exactly like it says, social search saturation. We saturate social search with the highest intent boudoir buyer keywords. So we show up there. And when we do this, it's kind of like the snow at the top of the Andes Mountains down there in South America, the eastern side, the backside of those mountains, where what happens is that snow melts, water drains into small streams, small rivers, and eventually it all flows, gets collected in the large Amazon River. Now, that is large Amazon River is page one Google search. That's exactly what it is. And we actually, so it all starts with the snow at the top of the Andes Mountains, because that all starts with the inputs. That's key methodology. We gotta get the snow there first for it to then melt and actually, flow into the large Amazon River. Now, SQ methodology, it's the only solution I've seen that actually allows boudoir photographers to have a chance to still grow their business in the presence of massive market saturation. And in a relatively quick, give them that opportunity in a relatively quick time frame. And the largest, kind of the only other solution I've seen that gives that same benefit, but not in a relatively quick time frame, is actually having a large, well-known brand. But again, dude, that takes like 5 to 10 years. We ain't got 5 to 10 years, dude. AI's here, taking people's jobs. We don't have 5 to 10 years to build a brand. What's interesting is SQ methodology with my estimates actually enables with boudoir photographer to build a large, well-known brand approximately 8x faster than standard methods, because we're seeing across so many different surfaces with much higher volume, much higher frequency, reaching much more of the highest intent people. And as a result, my estimate is, building that brand 8x faster to make market saturation matter even less. All right, so now an example. We are now going to, this will be a good one. We're now going to Bend, Oregon. And there's 1 million boudoir photographers there. And we are one of them. Everyone's got their websites and they offer boudoir photography. So it means page one Google search, ultra competitive with 1 million websites trying to rank there. And so we're like, all right, we ain't got no brand. We ain't got no time to create a brand. And so the only chance of us competing here is we actually got to be the first ones in our city to utilize S-Cube methodology. And as a result, let's say we crank it up to the max, like kind of way above anything the average boudoir photographer would do with S-Cube methodology. And let's say we're taking up the first 300 slots for the highest intent boudoir buyer keywords across all of social search. And let's say that flows then onto Google. We're taking up the first 300 slots on Google for the highest intent boudoir buyer keywords. And it's 10 organic slots per page Google search. So dude, we're taking up like the first 30 pages. So guess what? If a boudoir buyer is searching for basically if a boudoir buyer is searching for a boudoir photo shoot in their city, and as a result, they're looking on different, social media searches and Google searches, we're basically the only one they can find. We're taking basically the first 300 slots everywhere. So they can't really find any competing boudoir photographers. So they basically hit slot 301. That's page 31 on Google. I already know approximately 80% of Google searches never even hit page 2. So dude, who the heck's hitting page 31? Basically no one. So if we're essentially the only person they can find, the only boudoir photographer they can find, whose business is still growing in this market? Most likely ours. Whose business is dying, vanishing, going away, becoming invisible in this market? Most likely the other 999,999 other boudoir photographers. And so this is an example of what S-Cube methodology could enable for a boudoir photography business in an ultra-saturated market. Now, once you're with S-Cube methodology, we now have page one visibility, P1V. Initial benefits, we're getting more slots to page one Google search, but interestingly, every new slot we get page one Google search, we're actually kicking a competing boudoir photographer off page one, effectively making them invisible. Basically get to choose how many of our competitors go to page 2 and deeper, which means they're invisible to approximately 80% of the marketplace. So a lot of boudoir photographers actually really like this initial benefit. And page one visibility activates boudoir search visibility for us. And this is where the GBC universe recommends having, hitting the 3 out of 10 minimum for page one Google search. So hitting a minimum of 3 out of 10 slots. Because when we have that, basically every other boudoir photographer on page one will have 1 slot, but we'll have 3, so we'll be dominating them. In the ultra rare case, someone else has 2 slots. Well, again, we got 3 slots, so we're still ultra dominating. We're still dominating them. And a boudoir photographer with boudoir search visibility is a visible boudoir photographer, a VBP. So we got A disappearing boudoir, this is our micro universe here. We got a disappearing boudoir photographer with boudoir search sameness, which is caused by the dual horns of market saturation and the false belief of page one equality. Thankfully, we have discovered a solution, S cubed methodology. We achieve page one visibility. We become visible boudoir photographers with boudoir search visibility. All right, now it's my results here. I'm going to dominate Google page one for the keyword BLCS boudoir. So what I did was started using S cubed methodology, and let's see the results. So slot one, we're getting slot one Instagram, me. Slot two, me. Slot three, me. Slot four, me. Slot five, me. Slot six, me. Slot seven, me. Slot eight, me. Slot 10, me. So literally going from 0 out of 10 slots, page one Google search, to 9 out of 10 slots, page one Google search in only 10 days, exclusively using S cubed methodology. Now we got the main event here. Going to see this boudoir photography business has BSS for its local search, Aliso Viejo, California, or its city search, you know. This one I actually made pretty broad, OC, Orange County, California. So let's check that out. All right, so Aliso Viejo, California. All right, let's go to the organics. Boom, we got organic one. Ooh, nice. We got organic two, or we got second slot there, slot number 3. So we got 2 out of 10. Boom, we got 3 out of 10 with the Yelp. 4, Event Detective. I'll take that. 5, MapQuest. All right, awesome. Perfect, dude. 5 out of 10. Dude, anything we, 3's the minimum we want to hit. So good. We do not have BSS for local. That's a default. We should never be. Dude, we should be dominating local. Every boudoir photographer can dominate their local search. So 5 out of 10, so we do not have BSS, and we hit the GBC recommended minimum of 3 out of 10 slots page one on Google. And guess what? The more slots we take up on page one on Google, the more competitors we kick off, the more people who want to buy from us will never even find our competitors, because approximately 80% of all Google searches are page one only. They never even go to page 2. So boom, that's local. Let's check out larger. Now, technically this is not city, this is county, OC Orange County, but like there was no big city. I mean, I could have done Anaheim, but they were too far away from Anaheim. So let's see. All right, we're looking. All right, here we go. Got 1. 1 out of 10. 1 out of 10. All right, so we got 1 out of 10. So we do have BSS for the larger city search, or in this case, the county search. So we'll treat this as the quasi-city search. So we do have BSS for the city search, and we are not hitting the GBC minimum of 3 out of 10 for the city search. So if you're a disappearing boudoir photographer, meaning you've already went and done local search or city search for the highest intent boudoir buyer keywords in your city, and you got either 0 1 slots page 1 on Google, or you have now met the minimum GBC recommended minimum 3 out of 10 slots page 1 on Google, and you understand the false belief of page 1 equality now is exactly that, a false belief. It's made up. It's not true. No need to auto believe it. You're seeing that Google will actually give us as many page 1 slots as we want to take, as we want to put in the effort to take, and you're seeing, okay, S cubed methodology is the only solution forward, and it is the best solution for me. You've been waiting for something like this, because with Google PPC ads, most you're getting one extra position, even if they got 4 or 5 slots available. And the momentum for those dies once you stop paying for the ads. But with S cubed methodology, there is momentum with it. Not permanent, but there is way more momentum with it. With not infinite momentum, but there's way more momentum than momentum going to 0 when you stop spending on ads. You can take way more slots page 1 on Google. So they get all these initial benefits, new, basically new, more page 1 slots, kicking. You actually really like kicking competing boudoir photographers off page 1, relegating them to the dustbin of page 2 or deeper, making them disappear in boudoir photographers, and eventually their entire business disappear. And you understand the market saturation stuff. Over time, people get new gear, become boudoir photographers, and but you're looking ahead and you're seeing, man, AI is taking people's jobs right now, and it's only going to take more and more people's jobs into the future. And as a result, you are you're seeing, wow, way more boudoir photographers going to be entering the market in the future than any time in the past. There's way more people going to be losing their jobs compared to COVID. And you're basically like you realize you got to like fortify your position on page one. You got to have like backup links to your current page one links that are dominating as many slots as possible on page one, then backup links to those backup links. So you're like backed up all the way to page 2, 3, and 4 with all your links. Basically guarantee no current boudoir photographers can ever rank page one, nor any future boudoir photographers of peeps who lost their jobs due to AI can rank on page one. And you realize then, you got to fortify, kind of like fortifying the levees in Nolens, Louisiana, because that city is underneath, below sea level. So you got to fortify from the ocean. So you're realizing you got to fortify it, and you're seeing, okay, the only solution that can do that as well is still SQ'd methodology. And you want to achieve page one visibility to become a visible boudoir photographer with boudoir search visibility. And you want all these things because you are, you need them on your way to becoming the #1 boudoir photographer in your city. And you're also understanding the real back-end stuff, and you're liking the future benefits of utilizing SQ methodology now, which we have not talked about yet. But basically, every single day we execute SQ methodology, we're building up these invisible thematic keyword columns around our business, kind of like plugged into our business, like the columns of the Parthenon in Athens, Greece, or the columns, or like hub and spoke of the center of a bicycle tire. And with all these invisible thematic keyword columns, it actually builds up AI mindshare in the back end. So every single day we successfully execute SQ methodology, we increase the probability of being shown here AI overview. Premium, dude, super premium placement. Cannot buy this placement with ads, and it is 100% organic. It would be the only one served there. Basically the only one found there. And we'd be having those slots for ourselves. So once you're seeing that, you are saying, oh yeah, you want that feature benefit as well. And you actually want the other feature benefit, which is we're increasing the probability AI search actually recommends us with the standard AI search apps like ChatGPT, Claude, Perplexity, Microsoft Copilot, Google Gemini. And you know that everyday successfully executing these things, higher chance to get shown up in AI search, which you want because way, way, way more peeps utilizing AI search every single day. I know last time I searched for a boudoir photographer in a city, I looked for a few. And I did with ChatGPT, and dude, it recommended me 3 in the ChatGPT search. And when I went to search on Google or Facebook, like manually, dude, there's like 60. I was like, dude, we got to find a way to get in this AI search, and SQ methodology can provide that. Obviously, like the benefit of estimated benefit of creating a known brand approximately 8x faster than any other strategy, because we're on so many more surfaces with such a higher frequency than everyone else. And you're also liking that you can get all these benefits, and you understand that my current plan is to only work with one boudoir photographer per city. So you decide to become a first mover in your city to kind of lock yourself into use it, prevent all your other boudoir photographer competitors in your city from using it, and kind of build up, get all these benefits, get all the links on page one, kick out your competitors page one, get the back-end AI mindshare going, build up such a massive gap between you and all your current competitors and any future competitors coming from losing their job due to AI that will be entering the market as boudoir photographers, that you can, basically the gap will be so large, essentially nobody can ever catch you. And conversely, on the flip side, you understand that if one of your boudoir photographer competitors signs on with me first, then they're getting all those benefits. You're getting kicked off page one. You may even kick off page 2. Maybe we can kick you off page 3 or 4. And your competitors taking all those links, all those slots. You are actually, and your competitor, me and your competitor, are building that AI mindshare on the back end. They're building their brand approximately 8x faster than any other strategy out there. Higher chance they're getting shown AI overview, higher chance getting shown AI search, being way, way, way more known and freezing you out. And for you to compete, you'd have to actually rederive successfully SQ methodology. And I mean, you've never derived it in the first place, so how could you ever be 100% confident you've derived it correctly? And then you'd have to equal our execution every single day. But if you did that, you'd simply maintain the gap, meaning your competitor would have already gained on you. And you'd actually have to, 2 to 3x our output every single day in order to close that gap. But you're not even 100% confident you've derived the strategy correctly, so you don't even want to do the 2 to 3x effort every single day, because you don't even know if you're putting the effort in the right way. And also, who's got the 80 hours to do that much work every single day? So after hearing all that, you decide to be the first mover, just don't want to miss out on this opportunity. So if that's you, shoot me a DM. My DMs are currently closed. The hospital is currently closed to new patients, but when the hospital does open to new patients, shoot us a DM, and we will see if you qualify for utilizing our S cubed methodology.